YouTube, current 6693 here to bring you gaming anime news as well as anything that I find interesting. Today I just want to release some news that I've heard for Xbox One, the PS4, and also some True Blood news. But I'll first start off with Xbox One. So apparently, the Xbox One will feature 8 controllers now, where 8 people are able to connect to a single Xbox One console. This is probably most likely, of course, is going to be limited to certain games. Like probably most likely it'll be geared towards sports games, or yeah, most likely sports. I'd probably say. And apparently, Sony PS4 will only support 4. And in IGN, they were saying it's a time for them to start allowing us to have more than 4. Me personally, I mean, I would say yes, but I don't think it's really necessary because me personally, like I couldn't stand playing with 7 other people on one console. Me personally, if it's more than 2 people, I'd rather just have my own console. To be honestly, I play my Xbox with myself. I don't play with anybody else really. If I do, it's like a cousin that comes over or a friend, and but that rarely ever happens. I mostly play my console on my own. So me personally, I don't really have to worry about that. So I mean, I guess I would say yeah. I do think it could be time for consoles to allow that. For big sports games or whatever other games that may support 8 players, but it's not really like necessary. I mean, how many people have 8 people on one console? I mean, really, you know. Also, okay, so for Sony, apparently there is a virtual reality VR headset that's trying to rival the Oculus Rift that may be coming out for Sony. And if you guys don't know, the Oculus Rift is basically like this, this virtual reality thing, this new thing that's been out for a little bit. Um, Apparently, it's been doing pretty good, but I guess this game's attempt to kind of get closer to virtual reality, bring in the gamers closer to the gaming experience. So the Sony is developing this headset to where you put it over your face, and I'm guessing the game will be right in front of your face. And I think something like that would be really cool for Call of Duty. Um, and that would be really cool. Like imagine like you just sitting in your bed, your TV on the side of you, and you could just have a thing up there. You could just be laying back and just playing. So I do think potentially it could be really good. I do think that you probably couldn't play it for extended amounts of time because it probably could injure your eyes. Not I don't know about that, but that would be cool. Apparently, Sony was supposed to talk about it at Gamescom, but they pushed it back. But the fact that they're actually doing that, is a good thing. And I will also say that if you guys notice, the consoles are really becoming more of the exact same. Like everything's starting to blend into one. It's just it's crazy. Xbox One has TV services. PS4 has TV services. PS4 will allow any kind of headset. Xbox One, they include a headset. It's you know PS4 500 gigabytes, Xbox One 500 gigabytes. They're the same specs. I mean, and now it's just they're really becoming more the same. Now there's an Oculus Rift. Now there's a PS4. VR thing that's about to come out. It's just you could just tell the people they're learning ideas. From the other competition. But that's not a bad thing. You can say, oh, they're copying, but when you think about it, it's really not a bad thing. It's good for us. Why? Because competition in business is good for the consumer. Because that way, they'll try their hardest to put in new things, put in new features into the console to make it better. And so then they may make it cheaper in price, and they have more features, more games, and that's not just for game consoles or anything. Competition is good because it pushes you to your limits. Unhealthy competition is bad if unhealthy competition it can may not always be a good thing, but um, like friendly competition and healthy competition in life is always good. Always strive to to do the best as you can. And I guess it's kind of like a little message from me to you guys. But back to games, it's good for the consumer. So this. I mean, that means the consoles are only going to get more stuff. Um. Oh, and True Blood. Oh, before I get to True Blood, I forgot one more thing about the Xbox One. Apparently, the Xbox One won't accept external storage just at first. Like where you can use like flash drives, because I use flash drives on my Xbox because I had the original Xbox, which had like 20 gigabytes, or honestly less than that, and I've got a nice flash drive that I use. Um, but yeah, the Xbox One won't be supporting it. I can't remember if I think PS4 does, because I think they charge their controllers with USB. So yeah, Xbox One won't be supporting it at first. They said eventually they are working on it. It seems kind of to me though that Xbox One, they're releasing a lot of unfinished products, like the Kinect. Only the Xbox One only available in 13 countries. The Kinect only works for five. No storage hard drive. Xbox One. Certain Xbox One people who pre-ordered if you didn't pre-order the day one edition, like over, because like the other countries won't, like Europe, they won't get Xbox One next year, and they were supposed to get a free copy of FIFA 14 if they pre-ordered the Xbox. But now they're saying unless you pre-order the day one edition with the golden D-pad, I can't remember if it costs more now, but I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not sure, but basically, if you didn't pre-order that one, you won't get the FIFA 14. And if they run out of FIFA 14s or while supplies last, so it means if they run out of supplies, you're screwed. So yeah, but yeah, I just kind of feel like Xbox, they're just having a lot of unfinished products, and but I will say this in their defense though. When you think about it, they're already giving you 500 gigabytes. I mean, honestly, if you use up 500 gigabytes in less than a few months, then what the hell are you doing? Like, really, like, you have no life. Because in my opinion, I have had 20 gigabytes on my 360, and believe it or not, I survived up to this previous summer with 20 gigabytes since the beginning of Xbox. I have survived with 20 gigabytes just off save files. Um, but I know a lot of people, they install games, they buy movies, and I know that takes up space quick. But I would just like to say, when you think about it, 500 gigs is half a terabyte. If you run the space on that in a short amount of time, then Jesus. Um, so in their defense, I will say that 500 gigabytes is enough to last you. So I don't think it's really all that bad. At least not right now. We'll see later on. But okay, now news with True Blood is it's been confirmed by somebody at HBO that season 7 will be the last season for True Blood. I repeat, season 7 for True Blood will be the last season, which means that this next season coming up will be the last one. And I will say, I called it, because I've said in all my videos that I've been hinting that season 7 might be the last one. I have been hinting at that. Um, I saw it coming. I mean, I could just tell how it was going. So it'll be interesting to see how it all wraps up. I have a video out for season 7 predictions. If you haven't seen it, check it out on my playlist, or check it out on my channel. Um, and I will be reviewing season 7 when it comes out. I'll also be reviewing Game of Thrones. I would review Breaking Bad, but I've missed like the past 2 episodes because here at college I don't have access to AMC. I'm gonna find a way to watch them. Of course, I'm gonna watch them, but yeah. So that's it. So yeah, True Blood will be the last season. So um, like I can already tell you now that it has been confirmed that this will be the last season, I can tell you that there will be a lot of death in this next season. Of course there will be, but I think there's gonna be a lot of death. I think there's gonna be plot twists. I think there's gonna be unexpected turns. They're gonna pull out all the stops. Me personally, I think Jessica is gonna eventually maybe get killed off. Why? Because if I'm not mistaken, Jessica is a fictional character in the universe. Like in means of she was not in the novelization. They made her just for the show. And characters like that are always expendable. So I'm not saying I want her to die. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Jessica is the hottest person on that show. I don't give a fuck who you know. Jessica is the most gorgeous person on that fucking show. Um, but but yeah, it's gonna be the last season, so I guess I'll be there reviewing it with you guys. So let me know what you guys think about this news. How do you feel about True Blood being the last season? How do you feel about the Xbox supporting a controller? Does it really matter? What about the PS4? This news, the VR headset. Do you think that this will change gaming? Do what do you how do you think this is gonna change the game per se? Let me know what you guys think. Rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Current 6693 out.